Bom, beleza, eu tô gravando aqui e a gente vê como que isso funciona. Eu tô gravando também com o telefone e
Yeah, what became like it changed a lot because historically the night was always like a place of fear and a bit of imminent danger uh, due to the fact that we consider sight a major sense. We feel vulnerable in the darkness. So there is like this long history of societies trying to compensate this disadvantage that the night brings to us, and it culminates, let's say, with um, electricity, urban electricity, and this is the time where cinema appears, let's say. The night used to be something more boring, probably, because until probably the 17th, end of 17th, 18th century, people were locked at home all night and they would go out only during the day. Also, there is the romantic implications of the night. The fact that at night we tend to dream or we tend to desire and to get in touch with things that the activity they are distracting us from. So it's time to fall in love in a sense, it's time to suffer, to feel melancholy, and to get in touch with a type of interiority that the day and the productiveness of the day is preventing us from. Not by chance, all these metaphors are related to vision somehow and to the sense of sight. And since Aristotle, for example, it's considered a kind of privileged sight for humanity. So certainly the night is a threat to this realm of visibility. I was interested in portraying cinema through this dark room, something that is less than an attraction or less than entertainment, and that relates to this part of the night that is becoming step by step colonized. And when I say colonized, I refer to a really simple video effect of this process, which is the fact we are sleeping less and less in order to use the night to either to produce or to consume. So almost as a prolongation of the day. So literally, we are losing our nights and we are losing our sleep more and more. I don't know enough to talk about all the elements that are influencing this reduction of our night time, of our nocturnal time. There are economic reasons, there are libidinal reasons for sure, there are other type of influences, for example, fears. We tend to stay awake when we are fearing something. But certainly we are sleeping less than we used to. In part because we now are not subjected to the darkness of the night, to the fact that at night it's dark and we can't see, we can't produce certain things, we can't read, we can't cultivate the soil. It's changing, of course. And now we have light whenever it's needed. So this crucial aspect of the night, the fact that in the night, by lacking vision, we are not prepared to many of our human activities, this is now gone. This time is gone. We basically can behave at night in the same way we behave during the day. The services in many countries and cities are working non-stop. You can still work from your computer at home, from your cell phone, from wherever you are. You don't have any kind of natural barrier against making your night useful. Plus, you are, if you are probably like 80% or 90% of the world, or 95% of the world, you don't have your time for yourself, and you probably sold a good amount of your time to other people or to institutions, whatever, but you sold your time. And then at night you are exhausted. But this work that is buying your time is so consuming and is somehow taking something so fundamental from you, which is time, that you feel that once the night is the only time that you might have for yourself, you need to make a good use of it. It's not a problem for society because you produced enough when you were awake. It becomes a problem to yourself because you must have some time to do whatever you want, or to do not whatever you want, but what you want, to be loyal to your desire. So if you spend all day in the factory or all day in the place where you work, you have some hours at night where you can see the person that you love, where you can eventually cook if you like cooking, and where you can take a long walk, or even like where you can just lay down without sleeping and just kind of recovering your breath from the consuming base that we live in, especially in the big cities. I think Rancière, which is the text that is the author that is guiding me, and that wrote this beautiful book called Proletarian Nights. What Rancière is saying is that it's in relationship to the night of those who can stay awake that the worker has something to understand about himself. The power relationships are clear, right? You know that you are selling your time to produce something, you are being paid by this, sometimes you are barely being paid by this, but I mean the relationship is clear. What is missing, what the worker doesn't have, is a kind of understanding of himself, a kind of allowance to speculate. And this is something that comes with the night, in a sense, at least in this text. because it's related to the time that the worker, if he's not too tired, will have to devote to this special activity, let's say, which is questioning himself, or questioning what he wants, or questioning what he's doing. To dream is something so subtle that even if you have time, even if you go to bed calmly and you wake up calmly, you still can lose your dreams. You still can just realize that you don't remember where you had dreamed during the night. It's even worse when we are losing sleep time, or when alarms and commitments are waking us up in the middle of the night. This is in the middle of the morning. This is even worse. We are far away from dreams, for sure. If previous societies were already, or if in previous times we were already far from dreams, not remembering them, or not giving them the right importance that we have, now it's even worse. We don't dream. Yeah, I mean, we dream if you're an artist, for example. Frequently, you use your dreams as a sort of capital. You can do a project about them and put in your CV, but who is really like waking up in the morning and sharing their dreams? It's rare. People wake up, take a shower, and run to the work, to their next event. The notion of free time is a notion of a time that person needs in order to become productive again. If I lock you in front of a machine working 24 hours a day, at one moment you will collapse, and it will be a problem to me, let's say, if I'm your boss, if I'm the owner of the factory. I need to allow you to go at home and sleep and recover your energies. And now it became even worse, because you are not only producing for me or for a group that is consuming in society, but the way capitalism evolved, now I need you even more as a consumer than I need you as a producer. Even Tanizaki's book, at a certain point, he also talks about the color of the skin. But what he's questioning is a more, let's say, large understanding of darkness. And the book is almost a kind of farewell to a time where darkness and opaque and something that is not necessarily visible would be valorized by his culture. And he says it's almost like a nostalgic book in a sense, because he can't stop by repeating that step by step Japan is becoming what is Europe, what is the Western world, which is a culture based on promoting visibility, clarity, light, white, and avoiding darkness, avoiding the dark. And all the metaphors that we can establish between these two poles that are so explicit about how the Western societies are creating this sense of evaluation between what we can see and what we cannot, between clarity or dark. I think I was not surprised with what ended up happening, because I had no delusion about what we understand as a home office situation. What happened is people are spending more time at home during the quarantine, but they keep consuming and producing in similar levels that they used to do before the quarantine. So I didn't see my friends, for example, working less. In many cases, they were working even more. I think this is the ironic consequence of the colonization of the night. If the house was a space where all the family would meet at night and would protect themselves in order to sleep, in order to rest, with electricity, with the dissolution of family as an important institution. Now you can be alone, living in an apartment. You buy your food in the supermarket, and you can eventually hire someone to do services in your home, so you don't need anymore someone devoted to the home space. Last, because home became something more affordable, or something that everyone could get for themselves, and more because home as a concept is not anymore what it used to be. It's just another general space from where in our digital world you can be productive and you can consume. So most of the time that people are in quarantine in their houses, they're either heavily communicating through social networks. So it would be like going to the streets and talking to everybody, and even more because the pairing and social networks is a really large scale sometimes. They are producing. In these cases, they are working even more because they need to adapt and to learn how to work remotely, plus all the demands of being at home for those who have families and a larger structure. And to consume, people are buying things through Amazon. They are they're doing grocery online, and they keep buying things. They keep consuming even like TV series. They need to be entertained. They are bored and they don't know how to deal with it.